Okay, I'm here camping. It's near the marshes, you can see. So it's a primitive camping area where you can camp in the forest area, pitch a tent. I have a tent hammock, which I'm going to show you. I also have a tent for the kids. So I have a tent and a tent hammock. And I can just come to the dock. It's a privately owned, so I have to pay a little money. And I'm camping here. It's so beautiful. So it's the marsh area here. And you can see the kayak. I can use the kayak, the crab traps I can use. I can go for a swim. There is no alligators, at least not much. I don't have to worry much. So I'm going to take a swim as well in this beautiful place. You see, this is heaven, right? It's called heaven. You don't have to wait for heaven, it's right here. You just have to open the eyes and look through a different view of things. You find heaven. Yep, you see how long the dock is? About 400 feet or more, close to 600 feet, you see? And that's how it looks right here. So yeah, so there's a kayak. I'm going to go kayaking. I'm going to catch some crabs and cook and take a swim. And I have a cast net. This area, because the back of water, it goes to the ocean. So this is the backwater. It's a lot of shrimp. So I have a cast net to catch some shrimp. So I'm going to go shrimping as well. Okay, now I'm going to show you how my campsite looks like in this beautiful heaven. Wow, so nice. This afternoon here, about 4 p.m. But going to be 4 p.m., 3:30 or so. And you can see how beautiful it is. And this water is not deep. You see the grass sticking out? And it's not deep, it's about 6 feet deep. And then when the tides come in, it becomes 7 or 8 feet deep, but not more than that. So you can easily swim, but don't dive because you might hit your head when the tides are low. When the tide is low, it might be just 3 or 4 feet deep. So you don't want to take a dive blindly unless you check the depth and you know what you're doing when you go head in. But the beauty is just unbelievable, right? And I think I don't need heaven. This is all I need. Yeah, at least this is granted, right? This is for sure, it's here. All right, I'm happy here. All right, let's keep going. So yeah, if you kind of open to things, yeah, you don't mind camping in nature, in the woods with the wildness of nature, then you actually enjoy much better life. You enjoy much more happy life, right? Because it doesn't take much for you to be happy, because you're closer to nature. The further apart you get, the more artificial fake things you need to keep you happy, and then you're never happy because you keep on buying things or keep on spending on things, and it becomes all very much, object things, like or physical things. But here is spiritual, it's nature, it's happiness, right? It's all around, it's calm, quietness. Everything makes you so nice, like centered, right? You get recentered or reset. So this is how I think everyone should try. Yeah, believe me, it's not easy. It takes a little bit to get used to camping, right? Because it's in the ocean. It's out in the wilderness. I like to camp everywhere. I have camped in the ocean, near the ocean, in the forest, in the mountains. I have climbed the big peaks in the Himalayan ranges. I have gone kayaking in the white water. I've gone swimming in the ocean. I have gone cycling. Covered like 500 miles or so in less than a couple of weeks. Maybe I would say, sorry, not 500 miles. Yeah, around 500 miles. About in a couple of weeks I covered. And that was hard terrain. Some oyster shells. All right, so that's the camp. So that's the tent hammock. And that's the one I set up for sleeping at night. here. So the tent hammock is like this. You have a hammock with a mosquito net. It has a zipper. You open and you hop in. It has a little pouch. You can put your bottles or whatever it is. So that's how it looks. You can buy any brand actually. All of them are very similar. And it has a little tarp on the top that you tie to a little branch or whatever you have, the trees. And that tarp will keep the rainwater out. And it's the good thing about the hammock tent, you don't have to worry about how the ground is. You just have to have two trees and you can go as close as possible to those beautiful place. So that's the good thing about hammock. You see good forest, amazing trees. That's the thing about hammock, that you can put as close as possible to nature. Right, for tent you have to have a clean spot and uneven. You can't have a tent on uneven ground, but hammock is very versatile. And make sure when you put a hammock, there are no trees that are going to fall on your head, or tree or branches or trunk of trees. So whenever you pitch your camp, make sure nothing is going to fall on your head and kill you and take you out of the heaven. Right? So you got to stay in the heaven. So you got to be safe and smart, right? Okay. There's another hammock there. I'm going to show you my tent. That's the tent setup I did. It's a dome tent. Really amazing tent. Alright, that's how it looks inside. I have air mattress, two of them. They are really, see, one is a thinner air mattress, but really good. I have sleeping bags. It's summer, so I don't need sleeping bag. I'm going to use it just as ground, just like a bed sheet. And then I have little bags and pillows and mats, and air mattress really makes a big difference. You'll have really good sleep. So that's how it looks. I have a little lantern for light, little music Bluetooth speakers, and just some sheets. But that's how it looks, right? That's how it looks. And since this is a primitive area, right? This area doesn't have any toilet. There's a house here, but I cannot use their toilet. It's their personal property. So that is the primitive potty house I made. So how it works is there's just a little dome to just have some privacy. But you can see that's the door. You open the door and that's the toilet. It has a seat, it has a cover right there. You see it has nice cushion. Wow, right? And it has nice structure. You can buy that online, right? It's called portable potty. You can pee and do whatever you want in there, and then there's a trash bag. In the trash bag you put this called poo gel, and what that does, whenever you poop or pee pee, the poo gel will expand and kind of make a layer surround it, and in a way that it won't stink much. It has good fragrance, so it'll make that the waste matter into much more condensed, and you don't have to worry about the mess much, because it'll all gel up. It'll gel it up. But that's how it looks. That's where you pee and poop. Next time I'm going to get a little bit more taller ones, because that way I can stand up straight if I need to. Because now I have to crawl into it through the door. So I'm going to get a bigger, higher, taller one next time. But this is good for a few days, right? It works. Little windows. Yeah, that's enough to get by. And see how that looks. And there's an outdoor shower here and all that. Near the house I can use. But I'll show you how it looks near. Alright. So that is that. I'll show you the kitchen. My little puppy Stella. Hey Stella, how's it going? She's a good puppy. See how disciplined she is. My little Stella, how are you? You okay? Yeah, cross-legged. What a style. That's a good style, little puppy. Yeah, so smart. Alright, she's a lovely one. Alright, so that's Stella. Anyway, so this is the kitchen, right? This is my all the curry powder, curry masala. I like lentils, so it's much easier to cook lentils, and then I have, rice. I just make rice, lentils. I have little pots, little things to cook. Little pots, pans, spatula. This rice, I already mixed it up with all the spices I need: turmeric, salt, seasoning for rice. I like some taste to my rice, so I put some herbs in it for seasoning. I put the cinnamon sticks. So that's the rice mixture I have, and all I have to cook it in boiling water. That's the propane and the stove. So that propane stove, you can use it to cook food, and it's pretty interesting how it works. You can open it up. It is closed now, but you open it up, and on the bottom, on the bottom side, it has a, and for the hand soap, see, I use all this less chemicals, good kind of, it won't damage the nature much. So I use kind of things like that, which doesn't have much carcinogenic things, because I didn't want to mess up nature with more chemicals, right? We don't want to do that. Right, so how the stove is, like, you just open it up like this, and you can see it becomes a full stove. And on the bottom side, there are little there's a little space where it has the attachment. That's the attachment. That's the grill for the stove. This attachment goes like this on the stove, and then first we connect on the side of the stove, and then goes in there. This is what I use. It's kind of an old one, but it really works. No leaks. If it's just a leak, don't use it. You got to be safe, okay? You can see some rust because, outdoor use. It becomes rusty very easily, but as long as there is no damage or weakness, you can still use it, okay? All right. And that's a small can of propane, so it should be okay. In the sense, you don't have to worry about a huge explosion. But yeah, make sure you get a stove that is good and safe. But pretty much you hook it up, you connect that here. You see, that's where this goes. That connection goes. When that goes, you hook up the propane stove. You have a full stove. You can cook anything you want. Oh, I love this seasoning salt. It's a mixture of seasoning salt with some herbs. I make it myself. Lentils is the best thing you can buy, is lentils. Like if you like something really good, lentils. And if you get used to lentils, it's really healthy for you. I have my cooler and stuff like that. I have a little undercover for my hammock, because if it's cold, now it's not cold summer, I don't want to use it. But if it's winter or something, you can always use that on the bottom. It's like a padding for your hammock, right? So this is how it is. Gotta enjoy life, and this is how I do it, right? This is how I do it. It's just amazing. So yeah, it's a private property. The owner of the place lives nearby, right, a few hundred yards away from here, and I'm just in their backyard, pretty much somebody's backyard. It's what it is. But you have to set everything up, your own tent, your own toilet, everything you have to set up yourself. But it's worth it. It's just amazing. It's very cheap, right, to get places like this, right? So yep, gotta just go for it. Yeah.